It's that time. It's day 3 of our Come Feel the Sun Nurse Entrepreneur Challenge. I'm excited for day 3. And first off, Happy New Year. Are you ready for 2025? I know I am. I'm excited about the new year. Uh, I was just thinking about my upcoming blog post and what I wanted to say. Besides Happy New Year, but also let's enter the new year with some optimism. Let's enter the new year knowing that things are going to get better and that we're going to have a great time and it's going to be our best year yet. I'm excited and I believe that to be the case. So, let's go ahead and hop into day 3. We're going to talk about building your business plan. There's a lot that we need to do. Let me go ahead and set things up really quick. And I'll go ahead and share my screen. And there we go. Yep, this is the screen I want to share. There we go. So I can choose that screen. Awesome. Let's get started. So I apologize. I have a cough drop in because I woke up this morning and I was a little froggy. And so I wanted to make sure that you could hear me okay. So I still have a cough drop in my mouth. All right. So we're here for our Come Feel the Sun Day 3 Nurse Entrepreneurship Challenge. Woo, with the Nurse Shark Academy. I'm excited. I'm Tina Baxter. For those of you who have not met me yet, I am a nurse practitioner, a legal nurse consultant, a business coach, a podcast host, and I do a variety of other things and an educator. And so I wanted to share this information with you. If you're ready to start your own nurse business, why not do it today? It's January 1. What are you waiting for? Let's get into it. So we're talking today about building your business plan. So on Monday, we talked about finding your who, finding your niche on day 2. And then today we're talking about building your business plan. So now that you've looked at your values, you discovered your why, you found your niche. And if you missed days 1 and 2, you can still go back and watch the replay. So I want to let you know the replay is available. You can still go back and watch the replay as we begin to build on what we've done the first 2 days. Today, we're going to start working on that business plan to get your business up and running. So we're going to create a clear roadmap for your entrepreneurial journey. That's what your business plan should be. I'm not talking about those stuffy things that we just stick in our drawer, we never look at again, something we only dust off if we're going to go talk to a banker. No, that's not what our business plan is about. This is a plan for your business. And my philosophy is if you can write a nursing care plan, you can write a business plan. Okay? So there's no reason why we cannot do this. And I have to say, there's a lot of coaches out there that say, well, you don't need to have a business plan. You can just go out and do it. I really don't agree with that, because I think the business plan helps you to stay focused, have clarity, and to know what you're building from. And so there's a saying that says that if a person starts to build a house and they don't plan and they don't measure, then the house is, going to be crooked and lopsided and all those different things. And so I think a lot of times we put the cart before the horse. We want to get out and do the thing without putting the foundation in place. And we wonder why our house crumbles and falls to the ground. So this is where your business plan becomes your foundational piece, because when you feel like you're drifting away or you're not sure where to go or how to proceed your next step, go back to your plan. Look at what you've said in your plan and go from there. Okay. So I'm just checking our feed real quick. Looks like we're good to go. All right. So the importance of the business plan, again, it provides you clarity and focus. When you have a business plan, a plan for your business, you can refer back to that. When someone asks you, why does your business exist? You can pull that right from your mission and vision statement. You can pull that right from your executive summary and say, this is what we do. It helps you to understand what your business is about and who you serve. It also helps guide your decision-making process. So when you Understand who you're following, who's your who, what are you doing, who's your niche, what decisions you have to make. You put in place a plan to help you get there. So if you weeble wobble outside of the plan, you can always go back to it. It helps you to attract investors and stakeholders. And so for some of us, depending on the type of business that we launch, we may need investors and stakeholders. And they want to know, do you have a solid plan, not just for getting started, but for growth in your business and how you're going to handle that? They're going to want to know about your structure and who makes what decisions and who's holding on to this, that, or the other. So these are things that people are wanting to see when they're investing in you. And then it sets measurable goals and milestones. This is important. We've learned about setting SMART goals. And this is one of the things that we talk about when we build your business plan and we get to that part of your training. We really dive deep into that. We talk about setting those measurable goals and milestones so that you know that you've gotten what you need. So for some of you, you're starting out very new with your business. It's just an idea. So why not set some goals and milestones into the plan of, okay, this first 2 weeks, I'm going to do some research on my idea. I'm going to look at my market. I'm going to look at my competitors. I'm going to look and see what I need to do to bring it to the marketplace. Is there a class I need to take? Is there a certain form I have to fill out? Is there a regulation I have to meet? These are some of the things that a lot of us need to do, but we don't think about them. We want to jump out and start doing the thing. So this sets measurable goals and milestones. Okay. So here are some of the key components of a business plan. So the first thing and I've talked about this, is your mission statement. Your mission statement defines the purpose and the core values of your business. It should be concise, memorable, and inspirational. So let me give you an example of a mission statement. And I'm going to pull this up really quick because it's been a while since I've looked at it. This isn't my current mission statement, but this was from my previous business. And I'm going to see if I can pull this up for you. And probably I should have had this done, but this was just an idea that I had right now. And I was like, oh, you know what I could do? I could pull up some of the information that we had because I have our original business plan here from that business. Let me see if I can find it really quick. And I'm just going to quickly look through. There's a lot in here. Here we go. I'm going to read it to you because I wanted you to see and get an idea of it. And so this is the original. When I started my first business, with two partners, Wendy Shannon and Jackie Walker. Shout out to them. And we had our business plan and we wrote our business plan. And this was what we set out. So in the year 2009, His Solutions Healthcare was organized as a limited liability company in the state of Indiana. This is from our executive summary. The purpose of the company is to offer another community health care choice, utilizing health education, health needs consultation, non-emergent preventative health care, and healthcare employment training programs that are designed to meet the state requirements for certification. Our mission statement is as follows. His Solutions Healthcare, as a faith-based and minority-owned institution, offers a different healthcare choice locally to the residents of Anderson and Madison County through health education and non-emergent preventative health care. That was our mission statement. And so when you are writing your mission statement, it helps guide you into what you're supposed to do. It helps you stay on your purpose. The executive summary then is a brief overview of your business plan, highlighting your business concept, your key objectives, and a summary of financial projections. And so it goes on to say, here's our business concept. His Solutions Healthcare is a faith based healthcare organization dedicated to serving diverse patient populations through chronic disease management, health education, and health promotion, and to serving the community through offering affordable nursing assistant, qualified medication aid, home health aid training, mentorship of adolescents and teens, and parish nurse training with a congregational health ministry. His Solutions Healthcare provides health education and health promotion on an individual and group format, chronic disease management, primary care, community nursing assistant training, continuing education for nurses and other health professionals, CPR and first aid training to daycare centers, extended care facilities, and community training, and mentoring to adolescents and teens. And so, as we began to talk about that in our business plan, we wanted to highlight some of those things that we're doing, those key concepts, our key objectives, and what we're doing. And so, you're going to do the same when you write your business plan. The third piece of that is the market analysis. And so, the market analysis is where you have a detailed study of your target market, including demographics, buying behaviors, and competitors. This helps to identify opportunities and gaps. Okay, so here is what we put in our industry analysis. Again, this is back in 2009 and revamped in 2015. Economic factors play major roles and dictate the stability of the economy. According to inflationdata.com, the current inflation rate was 1.5%, a slight drop from the previous month in June. According to Consumer Price Index, the rate is steady for the last few years with slight fluctuation from month to month. Again, this was in 2009. The unemployment rate is at an all-time high of 14% across the nation. People under 20 years of age made up a quarter of the U.S. population, with the national median age of 36.7 years. This figure is vitally critical to healthcare needs in reference to the vast market consisting of Generation X and Generation Y that are consumers born from 1965 to 1976 and are primary spenders in most categories of products and services. The average median household income in 1999 was $32,577 for Anderson, Indiana. The median household income in 2008 for the state of Indiana was $48,000. Over a 9-year time span, the median household income increased approximately $15,433. So we did our market analysis. We looked at the market here in Anderson. We noted that the impact of manufacturing downsizing with Delco, Riemann, and Guy Corporation, who wants to stay in the community, has shut down. General Motors backed giants, revitalized the community once upon a time. These same giants have packed up and left the town, leaving residents destitute. The days are long gone with a high school diploma or GED or not having either and still making $1,000 a week, including fringe benefits, have disappeared. So we looked at our community and our demographics here. This is back when you have to remember, this is the beginning of the recession. And so we were looking at what was happening in our industry, in our community, and putting that into our business plan. And this is something that you may have to do. Look around and see what's happening in your community where you plan to start your business. And so it says in today's market, consumer-driven healthcare has been the emerging trend. His Solutions Healthcare is poised to tap into this market by providing upfront pricing based on fee for service. At this time, we are not accepting commercial insurance or participating in Medicaid or Medicare insurance options, with managed care organizations limiting the number of visits to be seen by providers or making it necessary for providers to decrease the amount of time for patients to be seen, and thus increasing patient volumes to meet the high cost of overhead. His solutions will serve as a vital alternative to traditional medical practices. The patients may retain their own personal physician or healthcare provider while utilizing the services of His Solutions Healthcare to provide additional support and education. And so this is some of the things that we looked at. We identified some of those gaps, and that sometimes people needed a little bit more education than what was allowed in their health plan, and they were able to come in on a concierge service and see us. So those were some of the things that we were providing. So number 4 is your marketing and sales strategy. Outlines how you attract and retain customers. This includes your unique value proposition, promotional strategies, and sales method. So, looking at skipping ahead to that, let me see here if I can find it in the business plan. Okay. Our pricing for our programs have been compared with similar programs across the state and within Madison County. So, one of the things that we did is that we looked at, okay, who was providing CNA training? How much were they charging? How long were the courses? What were some of the gaps? One of the gaps that we identified is that many of the people who wanted to take the class, maybe they were home health aides and they wanted to become CNAs, or they were CNAs and they wanted to become QMAs. The problem is that a lot of the classes were during the day when people were working. The classes weren't very flexible in their hours. And so they didn't really work around the student's schedule. And they weren't provided on weekends. So we purposely set up our program to be on evening hours and on weekends so that we can meet the needs of those students who had to work while they were taking our classes. The other thing that we noticed is that we had at that time submitted for a grant. We know that nursing assistants have the ability to, at that time, earn $11 to $12 an hour, and was one of the fastest growing areas in the health field in Indiana at 21%. So we looked at those statistics and we brought that on there. As providers for the wellness clinic, we value transparency in pricing. We target individuals who are uninsured or underinsured and want to know how much it costs to receive care. We provide a pricing scale, and the charge for the visits are listed so that the individual may know how much to expect to pay at each visit. Currently, we do not anticipate insurance payments due to the high overhead costs to bill for insurances. Each provider has to fill out an application to be credentialed with each individual insurance plan. So eventually we did take insurance in our business, but at the outset, we didn't, because at the time we were just offering wellness and education. Over time, because of the needs of our students, we pivoted and we started a student health clinic because we had students coming in with uncontrolled high blood pressure and anxiety disorders and all these other things that we got tired of sitting in the emergency room with them because their blood pressure was so high that we were afraid they're going to have a stroke. When we could, and they didn't have access to regular health care, so that we could provide that ongoing care for them. So we opened up a student health clinic so they can come in, they can get their physicals, we can identify those problems and address them right there. So that was a little bit unique to our business plan at that time that we offered that. And we were able to do that because we were nurse practitioners. Support groups are offered to consumers at no or reduced charge. The funding for these groups will be utilized to pay for support group coordinators, marketing, advertising, and training materials. The goal to use a portion of the monies generated from the wellness clinic and the education center to give back to the community through offering the support groups. So that was our original plan and intent. Then you have to add in your financial plan. This includes your budget, revenue projections, funding requirements, break-even analysis to ensure financial viability. So one of the things that we looked at with our budget, our financial plan, this was all part of our business plan. We have grown in market share each year. Each owner owns 31.33% of the business. Each owner has a life insurance policy at $300,000. We are listed, each member was listed as a beneficiary of the policy. All business loans must be co-signed by each owner to obtain a line of credit. The business didn't at the time have any outstanding business loans. We talked about our expertise, our financial analysis. We looked at our income that came in for a month for the previous year. We broke it down to where we distributed profits, what our expenditures was and expenses for each year. If there were any variance, we did this. And so we did all of these things and looked at where our income was coming from. At that time, we were making about close to $15,000 a year in student income for tuition. We had some money come in from another organization that fed into us because we provided services to their students. We got money from the government because we provided training for one of the students. And so out of the student tuition, it was about $20,000 that particular year. We also had some information about the partners gave some money into the company to further some of our marketing costs and things like that. And so we looked at our income, and over the year, we had gained about $5,000 more in income than we had the previous year. And so then you look at that and you base it off of what your expenses were. And unfortunately, our expenses also went up. So, but that was when we were doing this, and we kept a running tally of what happened with our company and where we were going. And our company was actually doing very well when we started, and in 2012 and 2023 we were doing pretty good. So then you have your operational plan. So this covers the day-to-day operations, including staffing, resource allocation, and logistics. It provides a roadmap for managing the business effectively. When you understand who's doing what operationally and what the plan is, and you do the organizational chart, that helps you to go back when you had to add in additional staff, who's responsible for what, building your job descriptions, putting into place those policies and procedures. These are all the things that you need to do. And so this is all part of your business plan. So this is like just a quick example. Let's say you're starting up a business, and I'm going to say you're starting a CNA training school, just because that was the easiest thing for me to do. So let's look at this financial cost. Let's say licenses and fees. So when I say that, I mean that money that you have to put in to start your LLC and register with your state. It varies from state to state. It may be more costly in your state. It's about $100 here in Indiana to do that, just to register your LLC. I think that's around the cost. I do that every few years, so I have to, I'm not sure, but I'm just throwing out a number to make it easy. $100, okay? Then insurances. So you're going to have malpractice and general liability insurance. It's going to be important, because if you're going to have a CNA training school, you've got students that will be in the facilities. You want to be protected if some of the students do something they shouldn't do, or something happens, like there's an injury, also an injury to the student. You want to make sure you have your insurance, okay? If they drop a patient, God forbid, or there's a skin tear or something like that, you want to make sure you're covered for yourself and for your students. So that's just an estimate of what that's going to cost you per year. Then you have the training cost for the instructor. And again, that varies according to your state. But if you're going to have other instructors and you haven't yet invested yourself into going to get the training so that you can be the program director of your program, I'm just guessing. I just said about $750 for that. Again, these are just rough numbers so that you can figure out where your startup costs will be. Now, you'll need equipment for your classroom. And so I'm estimating maybe about 8,000. It'll probably be 8 to 10,000, depending on what type of mannequin you get, what's required by your state for the mannequin that you'll need. You also need office supplies like a printer, paper, buying all the equipment for the students to train on, stethoscopes and blood pressure cuffs and weights, not weights, but scales and things like that. You'll need all that equipment, hospital bed. Sometimes you can get some of those equipments donated to you, but you may have to have a cost associated with that. So I just kind of put on a low ball cost of $8,000, because a good mannequin is probably going to cost you, the cheapest will be about at least $5,000. Then you have to have at least a space, because you'll need to have a place to have your class, and they will not allow you to have it in your home in most states. So you'll need to have a lease of a space, and I'm just estimating on paying about $1,000 a month for a lease. So it'll be about $12,000 for the whole year, but I'm including that so you kind of know what your startup cost will be, because this will be a fixed cost going forward. And then marketing and advertising, I put in $2,500. You may increase that budget depending on where you have to market and advertise, and if you're going to be running Facebook ads, whatever you plan to do. So a rough estimate, you're looking at about $28,350 as startup costs. Now, I want to say, don't panic, because many people will see that and say, oh, well, there's no way I can do it. No, there's a way. And so when we talk about financing your business, if you attend the financial workshop that's coming up, you attend that workshop, then we'll talk about how to get the money to finance your business. And it may be that you start now of, hey, collecting things. I didn't start my our business. We didn't start our business by purchasing everything brand new. A lot of stuff was donated to us. We got stuff from nursing homes that were getting rid of their old equipment and they would give it their equipment. We went to flea markets and we found some great things that people were giving away because they were redecorating their offices. And so we got great office furniture and things like that at a reduced cost. So there's ways to get what you need. And I'll tell you about some of the things that I did with Amazon and how I was able to get some of our equipment by just answering surveys, medical surveys. And so that's some of the stuff we'll talk about in the financial workshop. So let's go on. So when you're crafting your mission statement, you want to ask yourself what drives your business? What is it what's the reason you're doing what you're doing? What's keeping you doing that thing? Why is that thing the thing you want to do? We started the CNA training program because we recognized people needed jobs and nursing homes needed staff. Those were the two things that drove our business, and that there was an opportunity, as we read in earlier in the business plan, that was there. Who do you serve and how? So who are the people that you're looking to serve? Who's your niche? Who's your who? Right? You're gonna put that into your mission statement. Because again, if we go back to the mission statement, when we started our business, here was I got to go scroll back down. I'm doing this on my phone. So let's go right back to the mission statement. And our mission statement is as follows. His Solutions Healthcare, as a faith-based and minority-owned institution, offers a different healthcare choice locally. We were all about offering choices to people. And then we talked about the how. We offered the choice through education and non-emergent preventative healthcare. What were the values and goals that underpin your business? We talked about our goals at day 1 and day 2. We talked about the he, we, me framework. We talked about how we use those values and goals to help drive us with our vision, because our mission provides our passion, right? Our passion fuels our mission. So what values and goals underpin your business? And health in His Solutions Healthcare, we were faith-based and minority-owned. Those were some of our values. We wanted to offer, again, a healthcare choice locally. We were concerned about the residents of Anderson and Madison County. And so when you're writing your mission statement, you want to hone in on who it is that you serve and why you're doing what you're doing. So here are some examples that you can use. Empowering nurses to achieve financial independence through tailored entrepreneurship education. Providing compassionate, patient-centered care training to enhance community health outcomes. Creating opportunities for aspiring healthcare professionals through affordable and accessible certification programs. And delivering expert legal nurse consulting services to bridge the gap between medicine and law. These are some of those things that you can put into your mission statement. So I want you to take a moment right now, grab that sheet of paper, and kind of start crafting your idea of your mission statement based on your business. And I'll give you a few minutes to do so. All right, let's go ahead and move on. All right. So with your market analysis, understanding your industry and your customers. Remember, we talked about finding your niche and your avatar and your ideal customer. So you want to research your target audience, identify the demographics, their age, gender, profession, location. Who is it that you want to serve? And so as you can see, when we did that on our business plan, we talked about who we wanted to serve. We talked about why we wanted to serve. We talked about our demographics, and remember we read about Anderson in Indiana at that time and their medium income and all of those different things. And so we talked about we offered alternatives to a desolated, poverty-stricken community through education, collaboration, partnership, mentor relationships, and creativity. And again, remember this was at the time when the recession started. So a lot of people were losing their jobs, losing their homes. There was a lot going on at this time. And so these were the people that we targeted because we wanted to help them find a way out and provide staff to the nursing homes who desperately needed it. We understood their needs, pain points, and preferences. They wanted to get in, they wanted to get their training, they wanted to get started in a job. So for example, you could have nurses looking for flexible certification courses due to their busy schedules, right? So that could be who you're targeting. You want to analyze your competitors and identify any gaps. And that's one of the things that we did. Remember, we talked about how we looked at our competitors, and most of the training classes that they had were during the day when people were working. And maybe they were stuck in a dead-end job working somewhere like at a gas station or being a waitress or server, and they wanted to do something different. They wanted to enter the healthcare field. This was their entryway into doing that, and we offered it at a time that they can still maintain their daytime employment and go to school. Then you want to study your competitors' strengths, weaknesses, and offerings. It was interesting when we started our CNA training program, how there were other people that came along and asked us at that time for our structure, our curriculum, our paperwork, so they can duplicate what we were offering. And so there were people out there who were studying us, and we were unaware of that until they came knocking on our door and saw what we were doing and wanted to duplicate that. And, we could have had an opportunity at that time had we had the foresight to duplicate ourselves and do that other places and license that elsewhere. But you want to study your competitors' strengths, weaknesses, and what they're offering so that you can offer something as well. One of the things that I noticed is that a lot of times, one of the things I noticed with the education for CNAs, home health aides, as I've been doing this for a while, is that their education on dealing with patients with chronic mental illness is kind of lax. And so one of the things that I'm in the process of developing is a training specifically for home health aides and CNAs in long-term care that deal with patients with chronic mental illness, because there's not a lot of training on how to deal with that population. And so this is a gap that I noticed, because there's things, if you work in a psychiatric hospital, they train you, but you don't get additional training. And a lot of these patients that come from the psychiatric hospital end up in the nursing home. So how do you handle some of that? So some of those things are coming out. So that's just one area of the marketplace that I noticed. Identify gaps in their services where your business can stand out. And this is where offering education to those individuals that may need it, or services that may need it. For example, I noticed that a lot of times business owners do not have an attorney to talk to and ask questions of about their business in an affordable way. And because that is a gap, I have a company that I work with that can provide that very service to you. So I look for, if I can't provide the service myself, like I'm not an attorney, so I'm not going to do that, I look for those resources to provide that to you. I don't provide human resources. I'm not a human resources expert. I have people that I can tap into, that I hook you up with in your business to help you do that. But I identified that, hey, a lot of people have questions on human resources. Hey, a lot of people have legal questions. Hey, a lot of people ask questions about accounting and things like that, that I may not necessarily have that expertise or skill, but I know how to contact the people who do, and I know how to get you in touch with them, and I know how to connect you with the things that you need. And so that's what I do. I fill in those gaps where some other places may not. And then your offer. So, for example, your competitor lacks online resources for certification. You can offer a digital solution, which is one of the reasons why we offer the hybrid program, because people are busy, they're working, but they want to get their certification complete. And why not have it to where it's more accessible to more people? Also, you need to understand your industry and your customers. So look at industry reports, emerging technologies, and consumer behaviors. That's one of the things that we did. If you notice, when I went over the initial business plan for his solutions, this was again years ago, but we talked about who's in our community, where was the companies leaving, where was it growing, and who's buying. All those things were in our report. So, example, growing demand for online education and healthcare. So there was a study by Devlin Peck that says 70% of students prefer online learning versus traditional in-person learning. You have to understand, this is a group of students that have grown up on their smartphones, right? They're used to getting information in an online content. And we also now have students who've come out of the pandemic where everything was put online, and they're finding that they learned better in a more structured environment online, where they can focus when they're ready to focus, as opposed to be going to a classroom. So we may have to change how we teach. The online learning industry is estimated to be in over $360 billion in 2026. So do you think that this might be a good train to get on? So your marketing strategy, you have to define your unique value proposition. What is it that makes you stand out from everyone else? You need to clearly articulate what sets your business apart from your competitors. So, for example, we provide personalized training for nurses transitioning to legal nurse consulting. What is it that you do that makes you different? At the Nurse Shark Academy, we provide nurses and others in the healthcare profession with the underpinnings and the foundational pieces to start and launch their business. We really focus on the startup and development. So marketing, sales, and strategy, how will you reach your audience? You need to choose your marketing channels. So for a lot of us, social media has been a great channel. So you could use Instagram and LinkedIn to share your testimonials and industry insights. And one of the things that I've done for the Nurse Shark Academy is that we have a newsletter that goes out, and we talk about healthcare issues, and we talk about a leadership tip. The other thing is that I have the podcast where I interview nurse business owners and leaders. And if you were on days 1 and 2, you actually got to see a couple of clips from some of my past guests. You can also use email marketing, where you use the newsletters to keep clients informed about the services and any promotions that you have. So you grow your email list. You can host events like this event right here. Host webinars or attend healthcare expos to network with potential clients. And so you may exhibit. And sometimes I do that. I go to different community events, and I'll bring an exhibit, and I'll talk about our CNA program. I'll talk about the CPR classes. I'll talk about the Nurse Shark Academy. I'll talk about the legal services that we provide. So I'll do those things to create buzz. And so I would market. And so you can choose a variety of different things. I would start with choosing one and then build out from there. So, for example, you could run a Facebook ad campaign targeting nurses interested in entrepreneurship, which is how some of you got here. Is I ran an ad. I invested a little bit of cash to run an ad to let you know this challenge was happening. How you reach your audience? Develop a pricing strategy. You want to have competitive pricing. Analyze competitors to set a fair price for your services. One of the things that I do when I was looking at the Nurse Shark Academy is in noticing some other coaches and things like that. It's almost counterintuitive. I don't like the whole, hey, I'm the best thing since sliced bread, but yet your costs are way outside of my price range. I don't want to go for sticker shock with people. I don't want that. I value transparency. So if you go to the website, it's right there. You know what it costs. The same thing with the CNA classes, the CPR classes. You want to know what it costs? It's right there. I put it out there because I want people to know, hey, this is what it is. This is how you can get it done. I'm very fair and upfront with the pricing. And I don't want to have to haggle and have people like, oh, no. I mean, there's certain things that we have to do based on the scope of the project. Don't get me wrong. But you get a quote for that and all that kind of stuff. But for basics, if you want to know the cost of the course, you want to know the cost of the mastermind program, it's right there. I don't hide it. And so I hate it when you have to scroll down through pages and pages on a website to finally get to the frequently asked questions to tell you how much it costs. So I'm upfront about that. I'm going to let you know what it costs. I think that's important. Charge based on the unique value for your services provide. So value-based pricing, you could have that. So, hey, this is what my service costs because this is what it costs me to provide the service, right? And so for the CNA training program, one of the things we have to cost out is adding in that malpractice insurance. How much does it cost per student? Adding in the other things. How much does it cost for the supplies for each student? All those things get added into your package. And you could offer some tiered pricing for basic certification versus premium mentorship packages. You can do those types of things as well, which is some of the things that I do. So your financial planning, you want to build a strong financial foundation. So you need to know what your initial investment and startup costs will be. This is why doing the business plan is so important because then you'll know how much is it going to cost. I can't tell you the number of entrepreneurs that I've talked to and they want to start a business. And I said, okay, do you know how much it's going to cost you to start up? And they can't answer that question. And I said, so how much are you willing to put into it? Well, I don't have anything. Well, I can show you how to start a business with little to nothing, but you have to put something into it. Whether it's your time or sweat equity, you're going to have to put something in it to get your business started. And I tell them that I said, you need to know how much it's going to cost you to run this business so you can make a plan of how you're going to raise the funds to start and launch this business. Are you going to take out a loan? Are you going to look for investors? Are you going to get a second job to set aside a nest egg? Going to pull from your 401k? What is it that you're going to do to fund this? You have to know what it's going to cost you. Otherwise, you'll get out there, you'll start your business, and then you'll run out of money to actually run the business. And I've seen that happen, particularly with a couple of restaurant entrepreneurs that I knew of that started their business. They went out there, they got the lease, they got all the food suppliers and everything, and then realized once they got everything started, they didn't have enough to keep the business running. You also need to look at your revenue projections. How much do you project that you're going to make from this? And are you going to be able to pay back those initial startup costs? And this is all before you take a paycheck, right? And then you have to track your expenses. How are you going to track your expenses? If you're going to do it the old-fashioned method with paper and pencil, are you going to put in an Excel spreadsheet? Are you going to purchase software? How are you going to track your expenses and your income coming in? And then what's your break-even analysis? Where is it that you need to be so that your business is breaking even where the money coming in equals the money going out? Because once you hit that part, then you can start looking at ramping up to make your profit. Okay. All right. So the day-to-day, this is your operational plan overview. So doing your day-to-day, you want to define the processes and workflows. This is important. I can't tell you the number of times I've talked to entrepreneurs and I asked them, okay, they want to expand their process. They want to build another agency or open up a satellite office. And I said, great. Tell me, how does your workflow happen where you are currently so that we can duplicate what you're doing successfully in this office in the other office? And a lot of times they say, well, it's all up here. Well, that's great, but unless you can clone yourself and put yourself in that other office, the people that are working for you aren't going to be able to put in your process. They're not going to know what it is, and so they're going to create their own, which is going to create chaos in your business. So we need to define those processes and workflows. Who does what? How does it get done? What procedure do we put in place? What policy do we have to mandate these things? How do we make things consistent? If you go to McDonald's, as an example, there's a McDonald's right here in the corner of 14th and Lincoln where I'm at. If you go to McDonald's and you say, hey, I want a Big Mac, you get a Big Mac there. You can go across town and get a Big Mac. They're going to look almost exactly identical because they put the same thing in. They cook it the same way. They build it the same. They put the middle bun in there. They do the same thing. If you go to the next town, same process. If you go across to the next state, same process. The Big Mac's going to look the same wherever you are. And that should be the experience that your consumer has and your employees, in your business. If you have an office in Anderson and one in Muncie, the process should be the same. They should have the same great experience across the board. You need to develop a plan for staffing and resources. How will you find your staff? What will happen if staff leaves? How will you onboard your staff? How will you train them? What resources will your staff need? Will you need to provide them with a stethoscope, a blood pressure cuff, a scale if they're doing measurements or doing home visits or something like that? What equipment do they need to have? What insurance do you need to have? Because they're on your clock, on your dime, so they'll have to have insurance, workman comp insurance, all these different things you need to figure out and plan for. And then you need to set timelines for the milestones. So when do you expect to have the next thing out? When are you going to launch this phase of your business? When are you going to have another strategic meeting with your staff? All these timelines and milestones should be put into your operational plan. How are you going to set that forth? So here are your steps that you can take today to start building your plan. You want to draft your mission statement. So take a picture of this. This is your homework. Take a picture of this so that you can get started today, because tomorrow we're going to talk on some more and build on what we just did. Research your market. So I encourage you, Google can be your best friend sometimes. Get on there, find out who has businesses like yours in your community. Go to their website, visit it, find out what they have, what they're offering, and then look and see if there's gaps where you can fill in. Outline your financial needs and goals. If you don't know what you need to financially to start out, you're going to find yourself spending money unnecessarily on things you don't need, and then not having money to actually implement the business that you want. Develop your marketing strategy. How are you going to get the word out? You know, the whole adage of build it and they will come does not work in this. You need to let them know. There's a scripture that I have that I printed out a couple years ago, and I put it on my wall, and I'm going to read it to you because it was reminding me that I have to get out and promote. And it's not one of those things that I naturally do. I don't usually talk about what I'm doing. I'm more of an introvert, and I just don't do that. But the scripture spoke to me in the book of Proverbs, and it says, Proverbs 12:14, from the fruit of their lips, people are filled with good things, and the work of their hands brings them rewards. And I remember that the fruit of their lips stuck out to me. And so I made a picture of a guy talking, and you can see bright colors coming out of his mouth. And I posted that where I could see it every day, to remind me that I have to talk about what I'm doing. I have to promote what I'm doing. I have to share it. I can't just wait for some people to discover me. I have to put it out there. And this is why I'm doing this challenge. I want you to be able to build your business and to understand and to learn from some of the things that I have learned. And then you need to write it down. Write down your operational processes. I'm going to say that again. Write down your operational processes. You can't just keep it up in here. You have to be able to translate it so they can be duplicatable, so that the person coming after you, that you are delegating some things to as you grow, will understand how we do things here. Okay. So, a solid business plan is your first step towards turning your vision into reality. Start today and take charge of your future. There's another quote that I really love. This is from Steve Malia from the 30 Ways and 30 Days to a Better Life. And he says, how you feel about money will determine your ongoing experience with money. If you feel money is a pain, it will manifest as such. If you don't like money, you will avoid it. On the other hand, if you feel good about money, you will attract it. I say that because we talked about having a lot of times when we start our businesses, we don't understand that money is a tool. Money is resources. Money is the thing that we need to fuel the dream to go further, to impact the community which we want to serve. So it's not necessarily something evil. This is just a picture of a dollar bill that I took at one time. And so I share that to say money is important. So here are your next steps. Get your homework done and join us at the Nurse Shark Academy. We have our 60-day micro mastermind intensive with weekly group coaching sessions. 2 one-on-one coaching sessions are built into this. Those are valued at $350 each. Your business builder template. So you will get a copy of the business plan template so that you can help write your business plan. The core curriculum videos and the Jumpstart Nurse Biz training, valued at $197. And this is for 10 people only. So I only have 10 slots available for the 60-day micro mastermind intensive if you want to hop into that today. But I also like to offer some other things to you as well, because I always think, you know what, there's more to give. So if you join today and during this challenge using the promo code KINGDOM, your slot will only be $297 for the entire 60 days. One-time payment, $297. You're done. You're in. You're locked in. Okay. But there are those of you that need a little extra, need a little bit more. You're ready, but you need a little bit more time. So we have the Nurse Shark Academy Masterclass video training with the newly expanded curriculum with the He, Me, We framework. We have 6 sessions, which give you the overview, exploring your why. We do work it parts 1 and 2, your power up and your wrap up. It's valued at $497. We also have a copy of our ebook guide for nurse entrepreneurs, and we will gift you that copy if you join the micro mastermind. You'll get a copy of that book as well. Other bonuses that we're going to have for today and only during this challenge is that you get to enroll in our legal pitfalls course to avoid in small business, valued at $49, and also using social media to grow your business. So we're talking about social media. Yes, no, and what? Protecting your reputation and ads on social media and live events, valued at $99. We also will throw in the Freedom Finance workshop. So during this competitive business landscape, it's securing the right financing is crucial for your growth, whether you're starting a startup or launching or scaling your small business. The seminar equips you with knowledge and tools to make informed financial decisions. Don't miss the opportunity. It's about $47 for this as well. So you can hop into any of these. We're going to offer those as well. They'll be there. So you can pay for either all of those together. If you pay for them separately, you get your bonus session, the business builder course, you get the nurse entrepreneur book, you get the 3 coaching sessions. So if you become a member, get 3 coaching sessions. You get the legal pitfalls course, the social media course, the financial freedom workshop, the 30-day micro mastermind. That's going to give you a value of over $2,000 for all of that. Or you can just become a member and you get access to all of those things. Become a member of the Nurse Shark Academy. and you can get started with a down payment of $397 to get started, and you can become a member. So let's go on to day 4 so we can get ready because we're running out of time. So our day 4 agenda, we're going to talk about marketing and branding. So we're going to talk about tomorrow. What is branding? Developing your brand identity, essentials for digital marketing, networking, tools for marketing, and of course, you'll get your homework. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I'm just going to say take action today. You can become a member of the Nurse Shark Academy. The membership includes the intensive, the business builder, all the past trainings, one-on-one coaching calls, group coaching, etc. You can do the 6-month membership and just pay the in full at $1,800 or a monthly payment of $299. So a monthly payment of $299 for 6 months, for a 6-month membership. And you can renew at any time. And so if you want to stay on for a year, that's fine. You just renew. I don't hold you hostage. So it's 6 months. If 6 months at the end of 6 months you're done, that's good. So this is for you. And so I just put your information in there. I just put the information out there, let you know, hey, join us at the Nurse Shark Academy. I want to help you build your business. Let's get you started on the right foundation for 2025. I'm excited about it. There's some other things that we offer to those that have their businesses, such as, get a chance to guest on the podcast and use that for your promotion for your business. There's a lot of different things that we offer. So I'm just encouraging you to sign up today. You can hit the QR code for this and go to our website, thenurseSharkAcademy.biz. Thanks for attending today. I will see you tomorrow. I'm going to head and stop my share. Stop sharing. And again, if you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat, or you can message me and I'll be happy to answer any questions. Thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you tomorrow. We'll be back again at 12 noon. And it looks like we have 3 minutes. So I'm taking back some of the time that I spent last year. Have a happy new year to everyone. Again, don't forget to join us at the NurseSharkAcademy.biz. We hope to see you there and sign up. Thank you. And if there's no questions, all right, I'm just leaving the website there for you in the comments. All right. Well, thank you. And thanks for tuning in. And if you're watching the replay, by the way, and you have any questions later, feel free to contact us at the NurseSharkAcademy.biz. I'd be happy to answer some questions for you. If you're in VIP, see you in VIP in 2 minutes. All right.